Right, let's give you the Cole Palmer and Adam Wharton latest. There is a game of football on Wednesday night, which is £100 million game of football. And I did a video on Saturday night and was ahead of the game. And I expect the mainstream are going to start talking about it a lot. Chelsea are in big trouble. Very big trouble. Financially, they're on the edge of a cliff. They have sold hotels. They have sold their women's team. They are probably £400 to £500 million away from winning a Premier League, maybe more. So for all that expenditure, they're nowhere near. They're absolutely nowhere near. And in March, to be sixth, based on the money they've spent over the last 2 years, is absolutely appalling. They are on the edge of oblivion. They're on the edge of no Champions League football when they desperately, desperately need it. They need to keep building, they need to keep spending, and no Champions League football will kill them. They are sixth. They are 6 points behind us. They are 3 points behind Liverpool, and they are 6 points behind Aston Villa. If we beat Newcastle and they lose to Villa, and Liverpool beat Wolves, they'll be 9 points behind us and Villa and 6 behind Liverpool. It's over. They play Villa on Wednesday night. If Villa beat them at Villa Park, Champions League football for Chelsea is gone. And at that point, Cole Palmer, who wants to come to Manchester United, becomes very viable for Manchester United. So, look, that's just a reminder of what we spoke about on Saturday night. There is a £100 million game on Wednesday night for Chelsea Villa. Unfortunately, we will be able to keep an eye on it, but it goes on at the same time as us, so we can't really watch it. But it's a huge game, and I'm just going to reiterate it because it's going to be back in the mainstream. He and his mates and him apparently want to come to Manchester. Chelsea are in massive trouble. Man United might need a number 10 in the summer, and it wouldn't be £150 million if they're not in the Champions League, let's be honest. So, look, I think just keep a watching brief on that. I don't sense, when I watch Cole Palmer at Chelsea, he doesn't look the same player. And when I look at Chelsea, I think they're in trouble. And when I look at Man United, if Bruno goes, you need to fill that void. And here's a player that wants to come back to Manchester. So just keep an eye on that one, because I guarantee you it's going to start hitting again. Maybe today, but certainly this week. On Adam Wharton, the reason I wanted to talk about Adam Wharton is he's definitely in our 5 candidates for being a Manchester United midfielder. Now, I've seen different assessments of Adam Wharton, and I'd be interested to know what your thoughts are this morning. I was very impressed with Adam Wharton yesterday. Very, very impressed. I think in the second half, admittedly, he did fade, but so did Palace. Remember, they did play Thursday night. It's hard. It's very hard when you're not used to that to play third. Well, we found it hard. How many Europa League games did we play really well and then lose it on the Sunday? So it's difficult. And I think it was always inevitable that they were going to fall off physically in the second half. But in the first half, I was really impressed with Adam Wharton. And I saw a tweet actually this morning saying something along the lines of, I wasn't impressed with Adam Wharton. He never stands out to me when I watch him. And I thought, this is almost like what people used to say about Michael Carrick. I thought in the, I thought in the first half they kept breaking on us, and most of the time the passes were coming from him from deep. He was shielding the back four, breaking it up. I do think he's a decent player, and the only reason I'm mentioning him is because we've had these auditions. We've had Elliot Anderson, we've had Baleba, we've had Adam Wharton, and I don't. You know what? I think he had a much better game than Mainu. I do. I think he was had a much better game than Mainu. He's more mobile. He moves the ball a little bit quicker. But Mainu wasn't at his best yesterday. And Mainu will be here next year, so it's not about kicking Mainu out of the team. But I thought, you know what? Would Wharton complement Mainu quite well? And I thought, you know what? I think they would work quite well in a midfield too. So look, I like Wharton. I was quite impressed with him yesterday. My big issue is price. JW says we need a 6. We might not get a 6 this summer. Got a bit of a runny nose this morning. We might not get a 6 this summer. I don't know who this number 6 is going to be. It's highly unlikely to be Tonali by the sounds of it. So I don't know who the 6 is going to be. I think we might have to play a double pivot, which you can do. Mainu and Casemiro have almost been doing it the last 2 games anyway. When you look at the Everton game and you look at the Palace game, Mainu and Casemiro were basically playing as a double pivot anyway. So I think that might be the way that we go. But I liked Wharton's performance. It doesn't have to be rock and roll. I thought I've always said he's a jack of all trades and a master of none, but that doesn't mean he's crap of all trades. I think he makes the tackles. He's very energetic. He gets up and down the pitch. His passing range is decent. I think Elliot Anderson's better. Elliot Anderson's the player you've got to get. But I wasn't. I thought I did quite like the performance of Adam Wharton yesterday, if I'm being honest.